Hello, world. I'm Doris Hall James, and welcome to the Indie Show. This evening, my guest is the Heal Project. Tyrese Thomas, who's on my right, is the founder, producer, songwriter, and composer of this inspirational movement. In this movement, through their music, the Heal Project gives healing and healthy self-assurance to the mind, body, and soul. Let's welcome the Heal Project. Tyrese,
thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. So
and
glad to be
Hasker,
here.
how are you?
I am excellent. Thank
Okay,
you for
and
having
Hasker
me.
is one of the singers
Yes.
and has been with the Heal Project since the beginning?
Since the beginning, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
How long has that been?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Well, you guys are doing magnificent in 5 years because the show that I saw was magnificent.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Thank you.
And well, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let you talk about it. Okay. Okay, so tell us, how did this all begin?
So I remember this so clearly. Charmaine,
Yes.
she said, "You know what, Tyrese, you write a lot." I said, okay, no problem. She said, "Why don't you go ahead and do an album?" And during that time, I wasn't really interested in doing an album. I said, so I'm going to go ahead and give it some thought. And I remember during that time, because it was a very unique time in my life. It was a transitional moment for me. I remember being on the back of the bus, and I finally felt I was on the back of the bus, and I felt assurance or reassurance to go and do it. And the first song that came to me was Your Love. Okay. And when I thought about, okay, what to name this whole situation, because I don't want to do a group, I don't want to like do a lot of traditional stuff. So what to name it? And the Heal Project kind of came to me. From that point on, I said, you know what? I want to go ahead and take a stab at it. So our first song was Your Love. And that song meant a lot, again, because it was personal. It was about a personal transition I was going through for growth. Just a tumultuous moment. But I was able to kind of take that and infuse it in something positive. So the whole Heal Project came into it. And then I thought about, well, what would be the purpose of the Heal Project? You know, because sometimes when you begin something early on, you don't know where you're really going with it. You know, so it's like, okay, what is the Heal Project? You know, what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? And when it came to me, it was about bringing healthy self-assurance to people. You know, if you would experience our lyrics, if you would experience our concert, whatever you would experience, you need to be in a situation whereas you should feel better. You should feel stronger. You should feel healed. You should feel like, you know what? I feel like life is going to get better.
That's a great concept.
Yeah. So that was my whole...
That's a great concept.
That was my whole thing with the whole Hill Project. Yeah.
And people they bought into this. They're bought into this, right?
Yes,
They did.
definitely.
I think you see the love in our concerts. We work hard.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
We work hard to do these concerts, and so you have individuals, the singers. I mean, I have them in.
He works us hard.
I know.
You know, they're working hard. You know, I try to bring in the best musicians. Even with the musicians and the MD, Lawrence Bowens, he is a very close brother of mine. He just has it going on. You know, he travels this world, but he came in like, listen, what do you need me to do musically? So needless to say, it's the experiences of the concert that people are like really all in, particularly the last concert in April. Man, I got to tell you, it had to be every bit of about 280 people. And I have to say about 80% of those individuals I've never seen before.
Isn't that something?
That's
Isn't that
amazing.
something?
Yeah.
Especially to only have been going for 5 years
Yeah.
and to reach the number of people that we've been able to reach. That concert was mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was.
It was something. One, I don't know, was it about 2 years ago that we went to one of your concerts? And
It wasn't that long. It was a year ago.
was it a year ago?
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I mean, it was jam-packed.
Yeah. Now, you guys have been to 2, right?
No, it was
You've been
only
to
one. It was only
Okay.
one. I think it was only one.
McDade Boulevard out there.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
right, Yeah, so New Millennium Studios.
Right.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So it was jam-packed. It was
Yeah.
jam-packed. and it was raining that day.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
You
Yes.
know, and I think that was, my fingers was crossed. Like, are these people? Are they going to really come out? You know, we put the work in. We want you to share this moment with us. Are you guys really going to come out? And they were there, and they were there. They were in the building, loving the concert, and it was something special about that concert. It really was.
And I love the way it was set up.
Mhm.
Like you had, I think it was selling T-shirts,
We
and
did
then your CDs
with CDs, exactly.
and everything, and you had people out there doing that.
mhm.
Then you had someone selling the CDs while you were performing.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was really a great show,
Yeah.
and the performance.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we have to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah. The performance was great. That particular concert was called, what was it? Hope X.
Hope X.
And so you name your concert?
Yeah, I do. Every concert.
Okay,
Every
okay.
concert. So it's pretty much it's regarding maybe what album we're on, what music, or what my purpose is. Like, so I feel like annually I have like a certain purpose. Right. So something needs to happen in this particular moment. So Hope X was the name of the concert because that day we released our new album called Hope X, and so they worked hard. The staff was tight. I think a lot of people, when they do concerts, the most important thing is, and I was talking to Mr. Gill about that, is
Okay.
you got to be business.
Yes.
Because you know sometimes you can get caught up in the emotionalism and the performance of it, but you got to like check every T and dot every I.
And that's what
So
was
when
done,
you
yeah.
so when you leave at the end of the day, your budget is taken care of. You know, you can sleep at night. I was able to sleep at night. You know, I was able to say, listen, everything that you guys seen was a full production, and I was able to sleep well because it was tight. You know, and so you gotta know the business. You gotta know what's going on.
right.
You know, you could be the performer all you want, but I would say to any person who's really trying to get into this game, know the business.
Know the business.
Or know how to work it. You have to remember, because it's not just the music. Now, unless you have a huge platform behind you, you have major sponsors behind you, then that's great. But as the person who's over it, you need to go home at night and say, you know what, every bill has been paid. Have the conversations, lay it out. Professionalism is key.
Well, you know, well, how did you get all these great singers? I mean, you know, I've been to concerts and they had some good
Oh, wait a minute.
singers.
We just had an addition come in now.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
these
watch
singers-
out.
Oh,
Watch
okay.
out. This is one moment.
I'm coming back. But everyone on that stage
Yeah.
could sing.
Yeah. There are times where I sit back, I sit home, and I'm going to be totally honest, and it brings tears to my eyes. Because these are individuals, like, let's say, for instance, speaking of Kenesha, we have known each other since, well, our family know each other. So you're talking about our family. So you're talking about since toddlers or just being there. But I would have never thought in a million years she would be such an intricate part of my platform. So Hasker, we met maybe 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
I did a play called Black Nativity. And so it was time to me to go ahead and start doing the Hill Project situation. You know, I immediately grabbed him on. Kanisha already knew what she could do. Charmaine, amazing, for my church. Linnell, I grabbed her. She was at another church. I grabbed her. T, Cherie, like these people, and Cherie is, believe it or not, is Kanisha's sister.
Okay.
You know, so it was really amazing, and to know that, and I gotta say, they are some bad singers.
They are.
They are some bad singers.
When you guys started singing, you know, like you hear a voice, and I said, man, who is that?
Yeah.
Which one is that? And
Yeah.
I'm looking over, and then all of a sudden, here's another one. I said, well, who is that? You know,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
is that?
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
Oh, wow.
And you all were singing.
You know what works? It works that the crew, they are professionals. Or like so let's say, for instance, like I think I shared with you earlier that, you know, when it comes to rehearsals, sometimes we're in my apartment.
Okay.
And so if we could ever have any blooper moments, we surely couldn't show it to the public.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you know, it's great, but we are. It's so funny how we created this family foundation,
Yes.
and I think out of their respect for me, God knows their love for me, their loyalty to me, and just being professionals and believing in what I'm doing, it was a no-brainer. It's really hard for me to sometimes bring in new individuals to join what we're doing, only because I like to protect our family. You get what I'm saying? I like to protect what we established for 5 years. We've been in here grinding hard, you know, and so to someone to come in and want to be a part of it, I don't do auditions. When I have to bring someone else in, I usually pray about it.
Okay.
Lord, who can connect with us? Who can do this with us? I pray hard about it. And then once the Lord kind of gives me instructions on who to bring in, I bring them in, and they usually mesh right with the team.
Well, how many core is it?
So core is 6.
It's 6.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's 6. Uh-huh.
And then you bring it in as needed, or how do you do that?
So what happens is, so it all depends on the project. For most concerts, so here's my psychology for concerts. 6 people, trust me, they can bring it.
Yeah.
But the majority of my core have major solos.
Yes.
So in
Yeah.
my mind, I have to make sure that my philosophy is making sure there is a 2 alto, 2 tenors, or at least 2 sopranos to hold down each voice note. Like, for instance, when every time y'all people have been slayed over Kenesha's One Moment.
Great song.
Great song.
Great song.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always been 2, 2, and 2. I don't want their voices to wear, you know, because beyond just singing, you have to think about the health perspective of your singer. So I'll do 2, 2, and 2, and I only bring in for additional help. I really do it. And usually it's during concerts. It's not like doing studio stuff, anything. The studio stuff, I kind of bring the core team in, because they just know the mechanics of being in the studio. You know, I don't have to do a lot of work. But when it comes down to major concerts, I bring in some help, because I don't want to kill their voices.
Right, I understand that.
And it's wearing, it can be, I mean, you're talking about, I think you guys are up almost like an hour and a half sometimes.
Yes.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so it's a 15-minute intermission.
It's a little break.
Right,
Yeah.
but then they're changing. They're not upstairs just having funs and giggles. They're like, okay, we got to change our clothes, because they're professional. I mean, you really should see the behind the scenes. It is unbelievable.
Behind the scenes.
We've created
Yeah.
a very interesting dynamic. We have, and you know what? And I learned this. Actually, I learned this from, and Kenesha can attest to this. Our church, our bishop. You know, my musical influence really, although I always love music, my church, Abundant Life Healing Fellowship Church on 63rd and Arch Street, our bishop, Dr. Stephen Walker.
63rd and Arch.
Yeah. He, you know, we've been with him. We've been going at it a long time with him musically, and so I only know one way to do it. Do it right. And if you're going to do it wrong, you should go in and hide behind a rock or something. Don't do it at all. You know. So it's,
in other words, if you want to make a joyful noise,
yeah.
it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
But we ain't making no noise.
We're making a noise here.
Absolutely.
Come on, let's do it. Those notes are flat. What's going on? Those chords are not correct. You know.
It's really,
Hey, let's get it right. So yeah, so that's why I would bring in, you know, some new individuals to
now the
show me.
musicians,
Mhm.
are they a part of it, or that you hire them, like work for hire when you do concerts? How does that work?
So they work for hire. So the very interesting thing about the musicians is, when it was time for me to do a little more, I had a conversation with Lawrence Bowens. Lawrence and I have known each other for almost 15 years, and he loved what I was doing. And I remember him having this conversation with me. It was right after we did our last concert. Remember, at Vox?
Yes.
And so we had a conversation. It was a very small, intimate kind of event. And he was like, you know, we had a conversation. He said, listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you just hire us. Just bring us in. And he began to shed the light on, this is what we can do. This is what we can do. This is what you need. Because you have to remember, you can be a music entity all you want, but if you don't have those mechanics behind your music, then you can tell, a good ear can tell, this is not working. You know what I mean? And so it is definitely a work for hire, but it's the way that they handle my music. You know, they're traveling musicians. They tour. They tour a lot. They tour with a lot of celebrities. But that's not why I got them. I got them because they knew how to handle my baby. They knew how to handle my music. They knew, and I keep going back to her because she's here, but they knew how to handle a One Moment. As a matter of fact, One Moment has been changed 3 times.
It has.
Why is that?
Right.
Why was it changed 3 times?
I think it was just Tyrese wanted. He felt that it needed something more, and his creative mind is. We always joke about it when rehearsals. He'll think of something on the spot, and we're like, "What is going on in their head? What is going on?" He'll think of something, fix a note, So I think it just changed because he felt something more was needed, or just added something a little bit more flavor to it. But it's still the same concept, the same energy, the same passion, and the same text behind, and the same lyrics and passion behind the music.
Well, how was One Moment created? I mean, was it from a lifetime, a story, someone's story? Tell me about.
So One Moment, and her and I always talk about this.
Okay.
It's a moment between her and I that is like, I don't think we could ever remove it.
It's a beautiful
we were
moment.
doing a production at the Kimmel Center, and so we had to do a production at the Kimmel Center, and she was singing for a character. I think this character had lost her husband or something like that, and she was going through a really bad time. So what I wanted to do from a creative perspective was I wanted people to hear this woman's story. Like, I'll be back again.
Okay.
So when I wrote it, I absolutely wrote it thinking about only her.
Okay.
So when I wrote it, because like I said, we have a relationship, so there were some personal things that she was able to share with me as her brother. And which I appreciate that because that helped me write the lyric. So writing the lyric, and I remember I gave it to her, and I remember when I was singing the lyrics to her, and she was just like, "Sorry, she's not going to do that, are you?" And I was like, "Yes, I am." And I remember, because you weren't, because the second time you sung it, you was pregnant with Keone.
Yep.
Right. So the first time, I think, did you just have?
I just had Christopher.
Yeah, she just had Christopher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here she is, just fresh off a baby, and in the game. But it was about the woman's personal experience, but it was also about the experience of my friend. So when I was writing it, I just was like, man, oh yeah, Kenesha, right? Oh, she did tell me that, And so I was like, let's bottle all this up. And I'm telling you, to this day, no one can. If we ever did One Moment, and or if it was, let's do this. I would never put One Moment on the set list.
Okay.
If she's not there.
Oh, okay.
Because,
That makes sense.
And let me tell
That
you,
makes
we
sense.
got some singers.
Yes,
but
you do.
no one interprets that song like Kenesha.
Absolutely.
I told that's her song.
Well, Kenesha, how do you feel when you sing that song?
And I told Tyrese this many times. It seems like I don't even know how long ago it's originated.
2006.
Yes, so it's been over 10 years that this song has been
Wow.
generating. But I told him, I think I told you this recently.
Yeah.
I was just listening to it the other day. It's like every moment of my life, it seems like it still has a place.
Oh, okay.
So it's always a place for
Part
this
of your
song.
history.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
It
always
is.
Isn't
It
that
is.
something?
It is. That can't be erased.
Doris,
Nope.
her musical journey.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine singing about your musical history.
Right.
I can imagine that and how you feel. And nobody else probably could sing it like,
Nobody can.
you know,
No one can.
like Kenesha.
As a matter of fact, I have about 4 clips of her singing One Moment. And no one, and the most recent concert I think that you guys went to, she delivered on demand. I remember I was looking at the clip recently. I was like, why does she do this to this song? This is not fair. Like, it's not fair to the people.
Absolutely.
But she and one of the beautiful things about the Hill Project is that, remember, the Hill Project is a platform.
A platform.
So
Okay.
when I thought about the Hill Project, I thought about it as a platform. These individuals are artists. So, like Kenesha's a prime example. She's coming out with a single soon.
Yes, okay.
As a matter of fact, it's done. It's
Okay.
already finished.
Okay.
And I can't wait to blow it up and promote it everywhere.
Yes.
We're now after 80 years, sitting down with this one over here, so he can get into his music. Cherie, who sings with us, she has her project out. Linnell has a project out. Charmaine, she's working on some stuff, and that's what I'm saying. So I didn't look at them like a group. These are artists who are joining me on my own quest.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Okay. And that's why it's sometimes easy to interchange them. But moreover, they're the core of the platform. Yeah, they're the core
now,
of it.
When did you do any lead, Hasker? Did you do any lead?
Yes.
I'm
I did
trying
so
to,
many.
I'm trying
What
to think.
did I do? Right?
Yeah, I was trying to think because
So Hasker's lead. So did
it was a
Hasker?
lead.
Yes, he led better.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Doris, there were two male dominating males on the show, right?
So he's probably talking about Anthony as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember.
And Calvin.
I remember.
And Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So your lead was better with Cherie.
Better.
Okay.
And then there was
And Great
War,
Is Your Mercy.
And Great Is Your
Oh,
Mercy.
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep. He had that. Yeah. I like to feature them, and believe it or not, don't sleep on Hasker because he is a professional saxophonist as well.
Goodness.
Oh my.
Yes.
So when I did One Moment, which was our first
Wow.
single, when y'all listened to it, he is the guy. And I remember I threw it on him. I was like, "Hey, bro, so how about a saxophone?" Right? And he was like, "Okay." And he got
Which
in
is
there.
my reaction every
Right,
time
right.
he tells me to
Okay.
do something. I'm like,
And
okay.
he got
Just
in there.
go with
he
it,
just
right?
killed it. He killed it. And this new album, which we're working on for the summer, it's called Human. Every core person has their own solo.
That's
I'm very excited about her song. I'm very excited about his song. This song with Hasker, you're gonna hear him way more vulnerable. Like I don't think people really heard Hasker's voice in a while since Anthology of a Survivor 2015. Broken Man.
Broken Man.
Oh,
My goodness.
good.
oh, I'm talking about a voice because they would call him the voice.
Yes. We call him the that's his nickname, the,
The
voice.
voice. The
But
voice.
let's take a minute and
Yeah.
say, but you know, I've been to many concerts. Okay, but I've never been to a concert like you guys
Wow.
put on. I've never
That
been.
means a lot.
And
That's humbling.
It
and
is.
I'm really serious, and I was so amazed, and the singing, you know, I love singing, and on that stage, everybody could sing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then I loved the way it was put together. A lot of concerts are not really organized the way it should, you know, but you guys were on time, on the money, the break, the sales, everything. And I just want to compliment you on a job well done.
That
'cause
means
it was.
everything to you.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean
Let me say, I want to say, hello, Jessica, my cousin. You always support me. Thanks for joining in. Would you like to read it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Matt,
Dean,
Dean,
Morrow.
Dean Morrow.
Dean, Mark, Michelle. You know
Yeah.
I love you, Michelle. You
Yes,
already know how I
Michelle,
feel.
thank you.
You know, you already know what you mean
Thank
to
you,
me.
Michelle.
Who else is down there? Let's see. Are we able to get down here? I don't want to mess nothing up. Let's see.
You got Matt Green. Hi, Matt.
Matt Green, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. That's my neighbor.
How are you?
And that's that's Denise. That's
Denise.
Michelle's aunt.
How are you?
Okay, Denise. Thanks for joining in.
Willie, how are you as well?
And this is my longtime friend, Kuka.
Kuka.
Hi, Kuka. Kuka and I sang together years and
Oh, I
years
love it.
ago.
I love that. I love it.
Kuka's from Camden, New Jersey, a great singer, a great performer. And thanks for joining in, Kuka.
Wow.
Okay.
So does Kuka remember you in that amazing photo over there?
Oh, yes. It's Kuka. Now, Kuka isn't with me there, but
Okay.
yes. I think that was after Kuka left.
Okay.
I had gotten those girls, but she remembers. I think she remembers Riddell. I don't know, but she was always there.
I love
we
it.
had a lot of fun
That's
together.
awesome.
And Johnny Kroom, hi Johnny. Johnny, when you walked in last night, you took over.
I love it.
You took over. It was top shelf, and we were there. And Douglas Lyon, he was sick, and they were doing a fundraiser for
Okay.
him.
Okay.
And he came in, and Johnny Kroom came in later, and he got on that keyboard, and he absolutely killed it.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
so
amazing.
thanks, Johnny, thanks. And then this is Denise. I first was introduced to this group when my niece Michelle, she was with us that night,
Wow.
took me to their concert. A lover of good gospel music that makes you shed tears of joy.
Oh,
I can
wow.
appreciate it dearly. Thank you, Denise.
that means everything, Denise.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And then Michelle again says, I love you guys
Oh, I love
too.
you more. You already know that.
And Moja Ashanti, support. Thank you, Moja.
Thank you.
And Dean Morrow says, great interview, Doris.
Thank you.
And we go up here with somebody we missed. Oh, that's Dean Morrow again. But I want to thank you all for joining in. This is an amazing group. I can't begin to tell you how amazing they are. You have to really see them and hear them for yourself. And then you will understand why they call themselves the Hill Project, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now, how does like your rhythm and melodies, how does that come to you?
So my writing process is very interesting.
Yes, it is.
What does what does you do?
My writing process is very interesting. So the melody comes to me first. So the melody comes. I was like, oh, I like that. And then from there, it's like, so you don't think you're mad. And then from that, I will stop. And then here it comes. And I'm like a big kid, like, oh my God.
I know, I can
love that.
imagine.
Yeah, I hear that. Like Dance It Away, which comes out tomorrow.
That's the new. Is that the new
Yes.
single?
It's the
Mark?
new single.
Okay.
Make sure you download it.
Yes.
And when I and then I was writing, I was like, I want something that got some movement to it, that I can millie wop to. So I was like, I'm liking this, and it just kind of comes to me. And then that's the good. That is the upbeat. But then the serious stuff comes in. Experience, like case in point. I lost my grandmother in July the 17th. You're talking about this is the woman who raised me.
Okay.
If you was to meet her, she was amazing. We've maybe had conversations about her in the past, about my grandmother. So when she passed, I remember when I first got the news, because I was with her on that Monday, I remember getting a song maybe a week after. And the premise of the song is called My Air. And I felt like when I heard that she passed, I began to lose breath. Because I was hyperventilating from the reality of, oh my God, this woman is gone. But I felt in that one moment, the Lord began to strengthen me and he became my air. So I penned, and that was the only song that I penned from her leaving. That was the only song, because I didn't want to get too much, although I'm dealing with it, but I didn't want to get too much in the emotionalism of it, because I had to remember that, yeah, I can pen that, but I want to still kind of be a little more open, So the lyrics, the melody comes to me first, the beat may come to me, I beatbox and everything.
Do you play?
I don't play.
Anyone?
No.
I mean, other than me playing sax, I
He
guess.
plays
Yeah.
Sax.
but
Great instrument.
but I don't play, but I know what I hear. I can teach her.
Right here.
Listen, I know what I hear, and so when I sit down with the musician to realize the work, I can tell them, no, so I want this here. Let's go ahead and let's put this. Let's transition. Let's do a vamp right here. I want to hit that hard. Let's put some strings right there.
Oh, okay.
So the process with my musician is really great. So it all depends. I usually wake up in the morning with the melody. So I have to get my phone, I have to capture it, because I don't want to lose it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Well, do you guys write, or how do you do?
Do we? Well, I write my own music for actually the song that he was talking about that's coming out. I wrote that song, but Tyrese writes his own music, and I mean, and he'll come to us like it's often. We get
Does
a
he
breather
call
for
you
the
during the
last
night
song.
and say, listen to this melody?
We have a group text. Oh my goodness! And he will say, "I have this new thing. All right, we have a rehearsal. Well, we'll go over this." And we'll think it's one way, and it'll be a whole other concept. I'm like, and he'll look at us and say, the looks on your faces, man. I guess that's how we process him. Like, okay. He'll look like, oh, everybody's doing the same look, and we don't even notice that each other is doing the same look, but we're processing what he's saying to us. Like, oh, because we get him now. We get it.
Yes.
Like if he says something to us, the lyrics, oh my God, his lyrics are awesome. And we look like, oh my, how did you write this?
True life stories.
Yes, we're like,
True life stories.
what were you thinking when you wrote this?
Yeah. Because here's my
My
thing.
goodness.
My thing
Awesome.
as a songwriter, our responsibility is to create the narrative because you are a storyteller. So you are responsible for writing this lyric that should be relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But each lyric or the compilation of the lyrics should create a story or a picture in your head. If I'm not creating a story or a picture in your head, then, I should be writing the lyric.
Right.
What am I writing for,
That's a part of the musical genius.
Oh, my man. Yeah.
That's a part of the
Guys.
musical genius that this man is. For those of you that really, don't know him or just getting to know him, I often find myself wanting to okay, this may sound a little weird. I want to see his brain because I want to know how
That's
it
what we're
works.
saying.
I want to know. I kind of want to do microsurgery or something and open his brain up and just marvel at it because this man is a true musical genius, and it's humbling to be a part of this platform where we get a chance to bring his vision to life.
Yes.
Music that speaks to the human condition, the climate of the country that's going on right now.
Absolutely.
And his music, it changes the one's trajectory for their life, for the better, for the positive, to give them hope in life.
Yes.
And it is humbling to be a part of that. So anytime he comes to us and he says, well, guys, I got something. I need to get you guys in on this right now. We may look confused for a moment because we're trying to wrap our heads around it. But how did he conceive this? But don't get it twisted. We're sold out and invested in it from the moment he opens his mouth to say I got something, because of such a musical genius that this man is.
That is really something.
No, that's humbling. I'm gonna be that is very humbling, and I don't play with it. What I have to say about the singers that sing with me is that they're amazing in the sense I'm gonna tell you, because none of our music really sounds the same. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea. I don't know, but I feel like each song should have its own platform. What gets me is how they tackle it with me. So I may come in I think right now we're learning 3 songs because we're going to the studio really soon. And we're learning music with no instruments.
Okay.
So it's
you're
just
doing
my
everything
ear.
off the
It's just my ear, and it's just me keeping the beat and keeping the tempo. Me teaching the harmonies, and they will dare to jump in and tackle the music. And the realization of that is overwhelming for a songwriter and a producer or an arranger. It's like, wow, you guys are really jumping in and doing this, and do it with such professionalism. That's what makes me write like this. I don't know how to write any other way, particularly when I'm writing for them, or I'm writing with those guys being a part of it. It's like, I don't want to dummy that down. No, make it as hard as possible if it needs to be hard, or make it as interesting as possible. Make sure people can, understand what's going on with it. But they're the ones that they set the bar. They set the bar because they step up to the challenge. They do it and they do it with no problem. And it's not easy. Music is fun.
Oh yes.
It is fun. It's enjoyable. But like I said, by them being professionals, they understand that this is what's required right now.
Yep.
This is what we have to do. This is how he is with it. It's I wouldn't trade them. I really wouldn't trade them. And I'm not dumbing down my music either.
Well, what studio do you use, and do you use studio musicians?
So I use Morning Star Studios.
Oh, that's right, because we've seen We were there. And I think Glenn.
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 Love
Yeah.
Glenn. I love working with Glenn.
Glenn is amazing.
Glenn,
Glenn
I
is
did her
good.
work.
Yes.
I love working with Glenn. For me, I feel like Glenn gets it.
He is an ear.
Shameless plug for Morning Stars.
Morning Star Studios.
Yes, shout out to Morning Star. Glenn is great.
He's great. It's history there. So I think he said something to me when we did Dance to the Way. He said, Tyrese, I like this record. You can always tell me, I like Tyrese, you did this one. This is good. And they're really prepared. They're really prepared. And so it's good to get the engineer.
Yes, he's into
To
it.
say that,
Yes.
because he is very scrupulous. He want to make sure it's right, but he want to make sure it's right for you.
That's right.
So that's what we appreciate. So yeah, we go to Morning Star Studios. When it comes down to the realization of the music, my process is this: the music comes to me. I usually do a writing session with the person that's going to produce my music. After we do the writing session, then I take what was produced, take it to the singers, we work it out. Then from that point on, the responsibility is for the musician to send that to the studio so we can record. There may be some edits and things thereafter. So it's very much a very interesting process. And before it even gets to the public, we have gone through the music with a fine-tooth comb, only because this is my belief. Who's this? Quincy Jones said this to someone. A story was told to me that Quincy Jones said this to someone when they were working with Michael Jackson. Michael, of course, he was very particular. He was a perfectionist. But he said it has to come a time when you have to put the music out there. You give the music what it needs. You bring in all the professional components.
Yes.
You make sure the mixing and the mastering is absolutely superb because the people deserve that. And then you put it out there. You must release it to the nation. You must release it to the world, or you're going to keep critiquing it, and you're going to find something wrong with it.
And you'll never put it out.
You'll never put it out. And I think that's how I am. I just,
put it out.
let's give it everything we need. It costs, because nothing in life is free. But it costs money. But give it the best you can. Put it out there. So that's pretty much my process. And when it comes down to musicians, I will use the musicians that we use at the concert.
Okay, studio.
Oh, I just yeah.
Okay.
So if we're gonna do some live stuff, I just kind of trust them because they know what to do with my music. Yeah. Because the keyboardist himself, he and we work on some new music. So he already knows the music. It takes nothing for him to give it to the other guys. Then Lawrence Bowen's the guy I was talking about, who's like a really good brother of mine. That's his band. So everyone's well connected. We don't have to bring in a whole bunch of people into the equation. Now, how I'm going to do this album, we're still trying to figure it out because a lot of things are coming to me. A lot of things are coming to me relative to how to produce this and how to produce that. Am I going to do a track? Am I going to replace it? It's so many different ways you can record music now. You have so many different options, But ultimately, it's all about putting out the best work. People deserve the best work.
Yes, you got to put out the best work.
They deserve the best work. It's only fair. Yes. It's only fair.
Well, it was something I was going to ask you about. Let's talk a little more about your release tomorrow, May 17th.
I can't believe it.
Okay?
I can't believe
And
it.
that song is called Dancing
Away.
Dancing Away.
Dancing Away.
Now tell me about that song.
All right, so here we go. All right, so when I wrote this song, I wanted to write something that was definitely upbeat and contemporary.
Okay.
I wanted to do that. So in any normal response when you're going through a situation, you respond a certain way, right? So it could be through anger, it could be through whatever your thing is. So what I wanted to do was, I said, you know what, let's counter this response with something different. Let's counter it with Dancing Away. Or my Dancing Away may be the fact that I like to draw. So as opposed to taking all that stress, let me just go ahead and transfer all of that energy over to a positive location. So I wanted to use the term of dance. Now I am literally talking about dancing. When we work on the video. I mean, it's gonna be some Millie Rock and it's gonna be everything. It's like life can throw so much at you. Yeah, you have to take a moment just to say, let me exhale.
That's what we do sometimes.
Oh, let me just. And so there's a lyric that says, pain will come again. And when it does, Get up and dance again.
Yes.
Don't be deceived. It's just the life we live. Get back up and dance it off again.
Okay.
You know, it's like, yo, it's going to happen again.
Yes.
It's inevitable, but count it with a positive response.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's upbeat, it's fun. It is the song that you blast. It has a little trap to it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes,
this,
it does.
Mr. Gill, just a little trap, sir. I only put 0.2 seconds. All right. Oh God. It's smooth. It has a.
That's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show. Oh
But
man.
where can we purchase the CD?
So it's going to release everywhere.
Everywhere
iTunes.
tomorrow.
It's released. I release it on every platform. iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. So when you go in, you're going to say the Hild Project, Dance It Away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So the Hild Project, Dance It Away. And I want when people hear it, I want them to say, hey, listen, you got to get this thing. You know what, Mr. Arts, I want everyone to hear it.
Yes.
Not because I'm trying to whatever, but I really want people to smile back. I want their smile back. I want them to say, you know what, this is fun.
Yeah.
I like this message. Okay. You know, so I love it. I listen to it almost every day.
I know you do. But that's the way you gotta be, right?
And you know what's interesting? Because sometimes when you do a record and you listen back, and you listen back again,
and you find
you're like, oh, okay. I love this record. Like, I really enjoy this record. Like, it's my thing in the morning, and I'm Millie rocking. I'm doing the MC Hammer. I'm doing I'm doing MC Hammer. Yes, the kid and play. Like, whatever we have to do. But we need to smile more. We need to laugh more. Stuff is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. Sometimes we can't be so consumed with it. There has to be a moment where we can say, all right, here we go. All right, let's dance. Let's dance. And so we're going to do a whole campaign behind it.
Well, I can't wait because I love to dance. I mean, that's the way. It's two things that settle me down. And that's when I sit to the piano and try to write a song.
Love that.
Okay.
Love that.
You know, that calms me down. I try to write like you. I'm about personal experiences, things that's going on in my life.
Yeah.
So that calms me down. And I love to dance. Oh my goodness, when I'm dancing, that's right. I forgot all those problems, and I'm having a good time.
Yeah,
and like sometimes Gilbert and I go out, and I dance the night away. I mean, I just dance from the beginning to the end. And I don't go. You know, I go to hear the entertainment and all that, but I go to dance. Yeah. You know, so I can't wait to hear your song.
You know, it's so interesting how music is that universal thing that brings us all together.
Universal language, yes.
Yeah, and it's a language. So the response is maybe a dance or a shake or you just forget about everything.
Yes, yeah.
That's what the Hill Project is. The Hill Project, in its most simplest form, is when you listen to our music, when you sit down with us, when you're at the concerts. I want you to forget about it for a moment. Allow the tears to fall.
Yeah.
Allow the smile to get on your face. Yeah. But when you leave us, please, I hope that the God that's in us has touched you, or I hope that you are inspired to live. Yes. Live. Life is meant to be lived. You know, it really is. I'm sorry. It's just meant to be lived. Absolutely. It's meant to be enjoyed. Just live and live the best life you can live.
Absolutely.
The best life.
The best life you can live.
The best life.
Well, that's really great, and I'm just amazed because I listen to you. And I keep going back to the show. It's just like, it's unbelievable. And I could tell that you're really in what you do. Your heart is really in. You guys are really in. Yes. And it shows. And I hope that everyone out there, the whole world's looking at you tonight.
Wow,
you know,
that's huge.
They're looking at you tonight. Yes. And you have something to offer them.
Yes.
You know, and no matter what condition their minds are in or physically, you know, you have music that will heal.
Yeah.
And this is what you want them to know.
Yeah.
And you've been doing it for, 6, 7 years?
5 years.
5 years? 5 years?
Yeah.
But it seems like you've been doing it forever, and I think you have.
I have.
Because weren't you an actor?
So what happens is I am
Renaissance man.
What was he?
At my church we have an amazing CDC. and I am the artistic director over the CDC. So my responsibility is it's a community development corporation called PACE, Performing Arts, and Community Development type of situation. So at the age of 14 years old, that's when I joined my church. At the age of 14, that's when I was really introduced to the arts. And she was a part of it as well, back in the day. Until she retired early, I had to still stay in the game. So I was responsible for putting on the productions, teaching, whatever. But you have to remember that moment for us was like a after school program.
Yes,
so we had dance and we learned all of this. So being a part of that position, I was then elevated to president, and then I was elevated to artistic director. So I'm gonna tell you, it was my church. Believe it or not, it was my church. It was my bishop and his amazing vision to want to touch the community, to allow us to have a platform, to be creative. It was this man's amazing thinking. Like, he was so amazing. I mean, he worked hard to put us on the most amazing platforms. The Kimmel Center,
Yeah.
the University of the Arts, the Mandel Theater, all of these amazing. Our First District Plaza. He was just so, because he had a vision. And who would think that? Okay, now I'm 38 years old. That it would be a part of my life almost 24 years, and for this now, for me to write music, because I had a safe place, a safe haven, and still doing it. So that's where the arts came in. And then I was able to say, okay, well, that works for this. This could work over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I never forgot my roots. Won't forget my roots. I'm still the artistic director over it. You know what I mean? But I never forgot.
Still there?
I'm still there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still the artistic over it, and we still have vision, and we're now beginning to move in some direction. So it was the era of the arts. I think for 3 years we did Black Nativity by Langston Hughes.
Yes.
That's where he came in.
Yeah.
And he just stole everybody's heart. From there, he just.
Now, how did you steal people's heart? How did you do it? What did you do?
I'm waiting for him to tell me how. I did it.
So he was a fresh sound.
Okay.
He was a fresh face.
And he has a handsome smile. Look at
his smile was killing people.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my
He was trying to
goodness.
be modest with that.
He was and he could sing. He had the big songs. I gave him the big songs.
Okay.
Then he came out with the sax. So
I thought I was gonna die with those big songs because I had never.
But you didn't. You're lying.
I never did anything to this magnitude. Yes, I played sax in elementary school, junior high, high
You've been playing a
school.
long time.
Toured Europe,
Okay.
through American music abroad. And let's just put it this way, I didn't even know that I could really, truly sing like that. Growing up, you did a little kids choirs type things. And I had a great mentor that pulled the giftings out of me at my church under the leadership of my spiritual father, Pastor Gregory Holston, at the time. So I went through like this journey, I guess you could say maybe 5 or 6 years before I got to be a part of Black Nativity. And then the growth between that and the growth after meeting this genius right here, I'm amazed. I'm still humbled by the fact that I'm a part of this, because I would never guess in a million years that I would be doing something of this magnitude.
Okay.
So this man challenges me.
Yes.
You heard him say earlier that for 80 years he's been asking me to do a project.
80 years, Jesus Christ! Oh, boy.
Even though we've known each other for
5 years.
No, seven years.
7 years.
7 years. It seems like a
And
lifetime.
you still here, huh?
I'm still here.
Still around.
That's right, bro.
I'm grateful for our paths crossing. Most of all, I'm just excited to see where everything is going to go from here.
Okay.
So, and I know I'm in good hands.
Yeah. Now your 6 core members. Are you after them to each record their own CD? Is that what the vision you have for them?
So here's the vision I have for them. And I think we always have this I'm gonna tell you what my broad vision is. They have sacrificed so much for my work. And so because they've sacrificed so much for my work, and because we were able to build this camaraderie amongst a fan base, because we sell out our own concerts. We don't have a concert promoter. We're the concert promoter. As a matter of fact, last concert,
great.
concert alone, I sold about 62 tickets alone because I had to. Because I'm looking at that budget, so this had to get taken care of. But moreover, we are our concert promoter. We push everything forward because we have the platform that I don't think it's ever going anywhere. If God continue to breathe more and give us favor, every time. So we have the platform, we have the bodies. I want them to now get up. I want to be able to say that at this moment, Kanisha, that wrote her own song. Y'all have seen her with me for 5 years, 6 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kanisha. And I want her to put her song. Hasker, you sing your song. Don't worry about musicians. I already paid the musicians. All they have to do is just cover your song.
Okay.
That's my goal. I want every last one of my singers, and I've been thinking about this for some time now, every last one of my singers to sing their live songs within my concert.
Oh, that would be great.
So people can know they're not just people that's following. They're artists. They're writers. I do push my crew to go ahead and do your own thing. Matter of fact, I called him. I called him about it, and he was like, okay, but Hasker's ready. Kanisha, look at her. She finally stepped out on water.
80 years.
After 80 years. Well, it's about 90, we're going to say with you. But
like 100.
And here's the thing. The thing about it is, what amazes me is, because they don't often talk to me about it. Like Tyrese, how do you do this? I think they've been around me so long, they know what's right and they know what's wrong. And they know what makes sense and what does not make sense.
Okay.
They're not going to release a project and it's not right. Because they're just not. Because I think we have created this synergy of professionalism that was like, we're supposed to do it. We try to do it right. Yeah. We do, we don't always get it right. But when you pay the money, because here's the thing, being an indie artist, you're putting out a lot of money.
You are. Yes. You are.
The resources is there. How are you going to raise some money? We don't know. But the resources are there. The musicians are there. The people are there to help realize the work. You just have to hire them and bring them into the equation. So at the end of the day, yes, I do want them to do their own work. I want them to be the ones to perform. When I say the Hill Project, I want to say the Hill Project. Not Tyrese Thomas and Friends. That's why I never put my name on Tyrese Thomas and the Hill Project. No, the Hill Project is I'm the founder, I'm the whatever, but these artists are coming on with me. So yeah, I do want them to get out there and put their music out.
Well, you have a backer. You have a backer.
For sure.
And so many times there's no backer for you, but you have one.
I appreciate that.
Now, let me just say a little bit to the people that just joined us. LaTanya Davis. Hi, LaTanya. LaTanya was one of my first students. When I was a teacher, I became a teacher. She was one of my first students. Beverly, hi, Beverly.
Beverly, how are you?
And Warren Wimberly, thank you. Hi, thanks for joining us tonight. Now, in closing, because we have 5 more minutes,
Okay.
and we want to talk to our Facebook fans and friends.
Sure.
And we want to give them some advice. We want them to be able to come and see you, your next performance. Do you know where that's going to be?
So what we're doing now is there's so many things that are happening now. They don't know.
Surprise!
but they're about to have a concert real soon.
Okay.
And it's very up close and personal. So I want to do something a little stripped down, something more acoustic, where there's a percussionist, 4 percussionists. I want to do a guitar player and a bass player. Very up close and intimate setting. Just them on some stools. Their beautiful voices. Nice sound system, because I don't like sound systems that are not nice. and I want them just to go for it.
Loud.
To be loud. It's like, whoa, this is so amazing. So it's loud. So we're working on that. But moreover, I want people to connect with us on our website, on our mailing.
Do you have that?
I do. Sure. So it is thehealedproject.com. The Healed, that's HEALED project.com. So it's thehealedproject.com. So right there, you'll be able to subscribe. Then you can also follow us on Facebook. It's The Healed Project. That's our group page. Or on Instagram, The Healed Project again. It's a lot of healing and projects going on. All right? So you can follow. But what I want is, you know what I want? I want people to tie in.
Yeah.
I want people to give us a chance.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
give us a chance to
good
know who
thing.
you are, to know who we are. I'm sorry. Give us a chance to listen to the music.
Yeah.
Give us a chance to sit down with us. Just give us a chance to know, you know, hey, listen, this is what we stand for. This is who we are.
Yes. Yes.
I was talking to someone. I said, I just want one opportunity. If you could just give me one opportunity. If I have a platform, I promise you I will bring the best that I can to the platform. But if you can just connect, and if you can connect your friends with us, and if you can connect your family with us, and if they can connect and those other ones can connect, I think that's all I want right now. I know a lot of people are looking for a whole bunch of followers as far as numbers are concerned, and that is really amazing because we understand that in the world of social media, we have to have those numbers, right, to follow. But we need you to connect with us. That's it. I promise you, I'll make sure the content is right. I'll make sure I will stick to my script. I will give you the best of me, the best of us.
Yes.
But please, we need to connect. I think right now is the perfect time for all of us to have a positive message that you can live, you will make it. Your life is so much better. I promise you, if some of us can just get past this one moment in our lives, life is waiting on the other side. Life is really waiting on the other side. If we can just get past this one moment, and trust me, I know if we can just get past that, I think we'll be good. And I think this is a good platform to connect to if you want some inspiration. Because I like to have an open conversation.
Okay. Did you give out your email?
So our email address is... Wow, that's really interesting. What is our email address?
We have a website. So
I think the website.
I do it all the time. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
no. Isn't it the Hill Project Booking at gmail.com? The Hill Project Booking at gmail.com. So the Healed Project Booking at gmail.com. And if you message us, we'll get back with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me jump in here for a second, please. Okay. The Heal Project will be played on Philly Live Radio in rotation coming this week from Monday through Friday. We have Monday through Friday, 11 to 1 o'clock, our Gospel Hour plus 1. So we are going to more or less push you. All right?
Listen.
Wow.
This is an amazing platform.
Wow.
Can I say this?
Yes.
Yes.
This is an amazing platform.
Yes,
I'm
it
letting
is.
you know, right? This is the platform that we as a community need to get behind.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Not just here,
Yeah.
but right here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is the platform. This platform. I will never forget this moment, Ms. Doris.
Never.
I will never forget this. This we will never forget this.
Never.
You took time out.
Awesome.
We appreciate this. But this is the platform. They better watch this one. I think we're going to support it.
Yeah, and Facebook fans and friends and to the world, Gilbert and I work really hard to provide a platform so that our artists can come on and tell their stories and tell us their experiences, and also give you information that if you're interested in going to the music world, you have some information to get started. We work day and night to provide this for you, and then we turn around, and if your music is approved, we put it on our radio station, which is Philly Live Radio, which caters to, we have one program that only caters to Philadelphia artists, and then we have another program that caters to old school artists around the world. And although the program is in Philadelphia, although the program is in Philadelphia, if you can get here, you can be interviewed just like everyone else. Gilbert's back there saying Motown Philadelphia. That comes on Monday night, so we do that too. And I want to thank my sponsors for sponsoring the show. I have Butch Ingram, Nita Capone, Ellie Humans, and Yasmin McCoy. And I want to thank them for sponsoring our show. I want you to follow me on Facebook, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All these videos that you see are placed on YouTube.
Awesome.
So you can go to YouTube. If you know how Facebook moves down there, and they're on YouTube. And then you can check us out on Instagram, and you can visit my website page. And my website gives dates and all that of who's going to be on the show. So once again, Facebook fans and friends, I want to thank you for joining in. I want to thank the Heal Project for being here tonight. I want to thank Gilbert. You know, and I want to give a shout out to our radio station, Philly Live Radio. I want to thank Carlos Devon, who does an excellent job on Tuesday night on our top program.
That's awesome.
And Let's Go Back. So I want to thank you all. And I am Doris Hall James, and thanks for watching the Indie Show.
Awesome.
And we're out.
Thank you.